Dr. Strange?
Can I help you?
You caused an incursion, and we're gonna fix it.
Oops, my bad.
Everyone thinks that Doctor Doom is going to be the villain in Avengers Doomsday. But what if he's the only one who's actually right? School's in session. I'm Mr. Guzman. Welcome to the classroom. And today, we're going to be defending Doctor Doom. First things first, to understand Doctor Doom's motivation, you got to look back at the 2015 Secret Wars. You got to look back at Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Because you got to know what an incursion is. Hey, Jim, from The Office, can you help us out?
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes, destroying one or both entirely.
From those that saw the trailer, those that know the story of Secret Wars, and those that just really know superhero movies, everyone's assuming that Doom is consolidating and gathering power for himself. Classic villain move, right? That's what Marvel and the directors, the Russos, want you to think. They're not going to give you a straight line story that doesn't have any twist. And let me explain a little bit more of what those twists might be. This is my first point in my case for Doctor Doom. I feel that he's being more Nick Fury than Thanos. Let me explain. From the report of the Avengers trailer that was shown at CinemaCon, it shows that Doom isn't really conquering, he's assembling. The time you see him in the universe with Professor X and Magneto, he sounds like he's kind of recruiting. That he's assembling some people together to help this threat, which is an incursion. Another universe trying to come upon ours and maybe trying to take us out. So you see him, he's getting Professor X on board. He's getting Magneto on board for an unthinkable choice, right? I'm sure he's still rallying to get other people. Probably Fantastic Four, maybe other X-Men. If you're really trying to get a group together for the better good, that's not a conqueror move. That's like a Nick Fury move. That's what I was saying before. So like Nick Fury, right? In the Avengers, especially 1 and 2, he was the one gathering all the talent together. He got Thor, he got Captain America, got Iron Man, Hulk, etc., etc. I feel that Doom is this person, this Nick Fury type gathering person in this movie. He is getting all the people he can to help out this threat that they never thought they had to deal with. And let's think about Thanos from the other Avenger movies. He pretty much worked alone. He had his underlings. I believe they're called the Black Order. They were all over the place, right? They were helping him out, but they weren't really like a team, right? They weren't equals like the Avengers. They're all pretty much right here, right? They're not somebody way up here, someone way down here. They're pretty much, as far as their opinions and things like that, right there. Thanos was working alone, basically. Had some help from just, people working for him to try to get these stones, right? And that was a much easier, I think, plot for us to follow, was purple guy wants rainbow stones, and when he gets 6 of them, then watch out. We could follow that. It's really easy to follow. So on this one, I'm thinking he's trying to get a team together to stop his world, his universe, from collapsing. Different from Thanos, again, he's building a coalition. This is a much smarter move. Makes sense, because Doctor Doom is a smart brother right there, man. In Doctor Doom's mind, he's the only one smart enough to save the universe and the world. And with some of the stuff I'm about to talk about, the evidence is starting to back him up. Let's get to my second point. The Avengers have failed on numerous occasions. Let's be real, guys. The Avengers' track record ain't that great lately. Think about Thanos. He basically got all the Infinity Stones in the gauntlet twice. They've had incursions, time heists, spells gone wrong, variants running wild, running amok amongst the MCU. They had the ball and they kept dropping in almost every single movie, right? A lot of all his lost moments. Tony and Bruce made a killer robot, an AI that basically turned into Ultron and almost made the human race extinct. Man, so again, not always. They clean up their messes, but you never know. And in this trailer, too, think about it, man. Remember my man Thor? There's echoes of Infinity War when he was supposed to go for the head and then went for the chest. And you know how that happened, right? You know what I'm talking about. And then parallel to this trailer, because they say he does that tomahawk throw. He says Stormbreaker's flying at Doom and he stops it with 2 fingers, with a clink. That's all he has to do. That's not really a flex right there, man. That's restraint. Let me explain what I'm talking about. What that stopping Stormbreaker shows me or tells me is that at that moment, Doom could win. He could defeat Thor right then and there. That was just him showing that. So what I mean by restraint is that he's holding him back. Maybe he needs Thor somehow. Maybe it's that baby theory I keep talking about. Maybe he needs love. Maybe he needs Stormbreaker like Gore did to get to a different level of reality or a transport somewhere else. So maybe he needs Thor. Maybe he's like, hey, Thor, maybe I can use you, my coalition, my team to help stop these people. Or maybe he needs to know some more information about Thor and his universe so he can make a better decision. But either way, I feel that from what they show in the trailer, what they're talking about, Doom can solo Thor right now. I do think Thor's going to be leveling up in this movie, and then he's going to go and get him some Doom, whether now or Secret Wars. By showing restraint, that's not what a villain does. That's what a man with a plan does. Point number 3 is a big one. Stay with me on this, okay? This is my big theory. What if we're the problem? By we, I mean the 616 Sacred Timeline MCU universe. I just realized that I said MCU universe. That means Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kind of like chai tea. You know, if you say chai tea or ATM machine.
I love chai tea. What did you just say? Chai tea? Chai means tea, bro. You're saying tea. Would I ask you for a coffee with room for cream? No.
I think this is the case, everybody. From his perspective, he's saving his world. Because you know who's messing it up? Our world, man. I think that our universe, the 616 Sacred Timeline universe, is the one causing all of these incursions in other realities and universes. What happened at the end of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Clea shows up in that post-credit scene, right? Says, Strange, you gotta help me. You caused an incursion. Unless you're scared, let's go do this. Doctor Strange with his dream walk-in, you know, going to his other universe selves' bodies, whether they're a zombie dead person or just another Strange. They said in that movie, with the Darkhold using that, can fracture the bonds of space and time. It already showed that one Strange where he already did incursion, right? And everything was floating away. They said the biggest threat to the universe is usually Doctor Strange. I wouldn't be surprised if his incursion he caused because of him dream walking and going to other universes and stuff like this started something, whether him or Wanda Maximoff. Or maybe it was a spell from Spider-Man. Maybe when he made his spell, he's like, everyone forget the Peter Parkers, all this stuff like that. Man, we saw literal fractures in the sky of time and space. That could have been another time. That could be both of the reasons why. Maybe that's the X-Men universe and the other one's the Fantastic Four universe. And we're just occurring all over the place. Incurred things, I think you say occurred. Incursions are just happening now because of us, man. Doctor Strange is just one of them. Spider-Man helped him out on the other one, right? Maybe our universe is the rogue one. Maybe Doom knows this. And that's why he's assembling everyone together to deal with us, the biggest threats to the multiverse. In the comics, the Illuminati, who's the main group in that one making all the big decisions, they literally took out another universe to save their own. That's how it starts. The heroes, the Illuminati, became the villains of their own story because they had to make that decision nobody wanted to make. But it was one of those cases, it's their universe or ours. That's why they made the decision they did. And another way we messed up the whole space and time continuum, guys. What did we do in Endgame? We had a time heist, man. So that time heist, remember, the Ancient One told us every time you go back, just a little bit off, branch reality. And then we learned in Doctor Strange, when those realities get a little too close, we learned a little bit in Loki, multiversal war might happen, right? You might have this universe versus that universe. I think, personally, it all started with Endgame doing the time heist. And not only the time heist, but also Captain America going back with the stones and Mjolnir to try to give it back, everything back in the right places so he can clip all the branches. But then what did he do? He made a big old branch, I think, by going into that universe or that timeline with Peggy Carter and living out his days as a Steve Rogers as opposed to Captain America. All of these things, man. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Cap, even my boy Cap, man. Love me some Cap. y'all messed up a little bit. I think y'all messed up this universe a little bit, and y'all making these fractures and stuff. So now this guy that thinks he's really smart, or actually probably is really smart, has to go find a way to make it so he doesn't get incurred. Next point, the philosophical one. Because again, Doom thinks he's right. But doing what's right doesn't always mean doing what's good. This is the classroom moment, people. This is the real lesson. Philosophy. Kind of like Chidi Onagonye talking about the trolley problem.
I'm in a perfect utopia, and I have a stomachache.
Here's a question I want you guys to think about. Is it wrong to be right in the wrong way? Let's talk about the politics of this. In Latveria, where Doom's from, he is a monarch. He is the emperor. Well, I'm the number one dude, whatever it is. Emperor, monarch, king, whatever. God Emperor, Doom in the comics, right? Later on. He rules Latveria with an iron fist. You think basically big dictator type person, right? So must be bad. But in the comic books, Latveria, they love Dr. Doom. They love their emperor guy. They love their monarch, their leader Doom. They would lay down their lives for this guy to keep their way of life. They are very happy. They think it's a utopian society, which in a way it kind of is, because there's not war. They all follow what they're supposed to be doing, and they all follow Doom's lead. And for this country, it works out perfectly. He's brutal because he thinks soft leadership is what got the world in the state it is today. And he's not happy with how it is today. Going back to that question, if the overall end game, the bottom line, is a good thing, like in this case, the bottom line of us going to war with another universe would be to save our own universe. So again, war is always bad, right? Taking other people out is bad. But would you do it if that meant saving the 7 billion people on your world and the trillions of people in the galaxy? This is like the trolley problem, right? The one person or the 5 people. No correct answer. This is ethics. This is morality. There's not a true right answer because every answer is a little right and a little wrong. But maybe you need a guy like Doom who's not going to put his heart or his conscience in it. Just bottom line, what's the best thing for my world? And I think that's what he's doing. All right, guys, what does this mean going forward? If Doom is right, what happens to the Avengers when they beat him? Do they basically, if they beat Dr. Doom, do they start the multiversal war by doing that? Or do they start the official collapse of the universe? Maybe it's the official collapse of the multiverse. Is Secret Wars gonna be everyone realizing that Doom was right all along? And then having to readjust and act accordingly? I think when the dust settles from this Avengers Doomsday movie, most of the people in the movie, the heroes, the audience, are all going to think, man, Doom made a really tough decision that kind of was the right decision, even if none of us wanted to admit it. Either way, though, I do feel that we're going to have universes, whether it's studio universes like Fox Universe versus the Sony Universe versus the Disney MCU Universe. Whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of battles going on. We already see teams forming, right? We see basically Thor doing the flip side is what I see happening in that small trailer that they talked about. What I'm meaning is, when they show Thor, they say he's with the Fantastic Four. He's talking to the Avengers, talking to the new Avengers, aka Thunderbolts Asterisk. He's basically doing what Doom's doing, right? He's gathering people. He's probably gathering people for a multiversal war. And that's what Doom might be doing too. Maybe a little protection, a little war too, a little offense is a good defense, getting the X-Men together, probably get some Fantastic Four type people together, and some other ones, and say, hey, 616, we got you on this. Let's bring it. Bring it. So I think they're all going to battle, right? Everyone's going to be there, our dudes, our Avengers, and our people we know from our universe. When the dust settles, whoever's left standing, that's who stars in Avengers Secret Wars. Doom is brutal. Doom is ruthless. Doom rules with an iron fist. And I'm not here telling you he's a good guy. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, in a world where the multiverse is collapsing, where incursions are wiping out trillions at a time, where the Avengers have had the ball many times and have dropped it many times, maybe what we need isn't a good guy. Maybe what we need is the right guy. And the scary part is, the evidence is all pointing to Dr. Doom. He stopped Stormbreaker with 2 fingers and didn't finish the job. He's building a coalition, not a conquest. He's making the calls no one else is willing to make. And if the 616 universe is really starting all this trouble, Doom may be the only one out there with the guts to do what has to be done. That's what I think, and yeah, it probably makes you feel a little uncomfortable. Shoot, man, I feel uncomfortable with this choice. But that's good storytelling, right? When the villain or the antagonist makes you go, whoa, wait. Say that again. I kind of agree with what you said there. Now I want to hear from you guys. In Avengers Doomsday, is Dr. Doom gonna be the hero, the villain, or is he the only adult in the room? Let's talk about it. If you've been rocking with us during this Doomsday series, make sure you're subscribed because we got more Dr. Doom and Avengers Doomsday content coming out in the weeks to come. Doom was right.
That's right, I said it.
That's what I say. And I'll see you next period.
Let the rest know who did that. Metal fist terrorist, claim responsibility. Broken household name usually set in hostility.
Always got mad when the class was dismissed.